Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of Savins 4. This week episode is sponsored by Haterade, the drink that's going to get your hating going and make sure we talk that shit to them up, baby, because boy, we have a lot to talk about after the first week, official week of the college football season. A lot of teams put them rankings up. Some tested, some prevailed, some fell. Let's say we're not going to say they fell short. We're going to say they fell 6 feet under because some of them expectations was just too heavy for them. But man, before we get into that, man, let me introduce the panel. First of all, let's say what's up to my boy C Note. What's good?
What's going on, y'all? I'm just about to clock in. Got a draft in a couple minutes. You know what it is. It's the season.
Tis the season, man. Parlays and fantasy football all year, all for like the next 6 months, man.
Oh, I already got my
But
parlays in. I got two of them things for this weekend.
all right, bet. Shoot. Next up, we got my boy D, Dr. Esquire Day.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm actually drafting right now, so I'm about to make my last pick in about 3 picks. So yeah, tis the season, man. You know, niggas were taking too long to take their picks. I thought we'd be done by now, but I got one more pick, so it's all good.
And then of course we got my boy T representing. It looked like he got his Florida State Seminoles shirt on. I see you rocking the gear. What's good with you, boy?
Man, not much, bro. We rolled the tide on Saturday, bro.
I mean, shit. What, man? Let's just start right there, man. One of the marquee games this weekend, we had Alabama versus Florida State, and to a lot of people, it was a shocking 31-17 victory for the Florida State Seminoles. But hey, if y'all watched our last episode, you know, T, he was kind of confident. He was like, "Hey, man, Florida State can kind of do something if the quarterback can back up his talk and, you know, kind of see what this new coaching staff looking like." And looked like they had everything hit in that game, man. So, you know, from your perspective, T, what you saw out there, man.
One of the most underrated hires of the offseason, at least, for us, was the offensive line coach, Herb Hand. Comes from the Big Ten. Very respected offensive line coach. We got Tony White, D coordinator from Nebraska. Nebraska always has good defenses, no matter who's the head coach. Their defenses are always solid. And then Gus Malzahn has something to prove. You know, he was the head coach at UCF. Things didn't go necessarily great there. So you have a lot of guys that they brought in and players that they brought in that has something to prove. You know, Castellanos kind of got ran out of BC. You know, he showed flashes of his talent, but also he didn't quite fit what Bill O'Brien wants to do. Bill O'Brien comes from the NFL, more of a pocket passing type of offense. And Castellanos and Gus Malzahn are just a perfect fit for each other. And I think the biggest takeaway is that we dominated Alabama on both sides of the trenches, on the offensive line and the defensive line. I can't remember the last time we've seen Bama, except maybe versus like a team like Georgia or another SEC team. When was the last time Bama's been absolutely just manhandled in the trenches outside the SEC? Maybe Clemson in 2017 when they got smoked in the national championship game. So it's been a long time. And not only that, the thing that I noticed the most was that there were times where Kalen DeBoer looked absolutely shell-shocked. Their players looked shook. I don't know if you guys heard on TV, but that was like that was a top 5 crowd that's been at a Florida State home game
They was rocking.
the last 15 years. Like, it was loud on TV, so I know it was loud there. And people that are actually at the game were saying how loud it was. And you could see that Alabama was rattled. Like, they came down, they scored in the first drive. We're like, oh, hell. Like, they kind of did what Bama does. They looked like the bigger, stronger, more physical team. And then we came right back and answered them. I think once we answered them, I think Bama knew that they were in for a fight. And after that, their offense really couldn't get anything going. They didn't even rush for 100 yards rushing the entire game. And most of that was on the first drive of the game. Their quarterback played decent at times, but also his decision-making at times was bad. Their O-line didn't protect him well. Ryan Williams, I don't know what the hell's going on, but, painting your nails and carrying dolls into the stadium, that's just not what Alabama fans are going for. Outside of the board, Ryan Williams is like the second on the shit list right now because he was a no-show for most of the game.
Yeah.
And Mike Norvell has something to prove. 2-10 was a disaster. Brought in the wrong transfers last year. Coaching staff that he had, they had success, going 10-3 and then 13-1, but things just went really bad, and there was a lot of things schematically and scheme wise that it just didn't work anymore. So I give him credit for making the right hires that need to be made, and it was good to see Florida State getting love from the national media again because we were the punchline of the season last year. So I feel pretty good about Florida State. We still have a lot of work to do. We can't sleep on any teams. We have, obviously we play Miami beginning of October, big game in Tallahassee, but we have Clemson at the end of the year. My trajectory, I know I said 8 to 9 wins, but now I feel like 10 wins should be the expectation. The only teams I would accept losing to are Miami and Clemson. Besides that, we should win the rest of our games. Miami game's a swing game. Obviously, it's a rivalry game. So, Miami right now, in my opinion, is the best team currently in the ACC. I got to give them credit for what they did on Sunday night. They look good as well. Just, my biggest takeaway is also the state of Florida is in a good place football-wise, even Gainesville. And the reason why that matters is because I was listening to Pat McAfee on Monday, and he was saying, Nick Saban's last championship team, their entire defensive backfield was from the state of Florida. Yep. Ohio State gets guys from Florida all the time. I think Jeremiah Smith from Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Florida State recruited him hard. It was between us and Ohio State. He ended up going to Ohio State. But if Miami can continue what they're doing and we have a great season, we're already recruiting pretty well, better than what I expected coming off a 2-10 season. But we can just steal a couple of those recruits from the Bamas, the Georgias, the Ohio States, and they stay in the state of Florida, and watch out because that's really – if we can just narrow those margins recruiting-wise and get more of those guys to stay in state, then we'll see – Miami, Florida State relevant moving forward on a more consistent basis. In my opinion, college football is better when both Miami and Florida State are good.
Yeah, shout out to our boy Ant. He tweeted out this joint the other day, and I agree. It's college football is just better when the premier 3 teams in Florida, Florida State, Miami, when they all good and they're all clicking at the same time. College football just seems better because those Florida teams, them Florida players, they just have a different swagger to them, or they got a different feel to the different aura to them when it comes to college football. So it was just great to kind of see, even from rivalry standpoints, just to see not just y'all, but our stadium was rocking too. And I'm gonna be honest with you, T. I haven't seen that stadium that packed, that loud, that crazy for any game in a while. Even if it came to us playing y'all or a marquee game like Carolina, it's been
last time y'all played Notre Dame in Miami. Remember in 2017? That was the last time I seen that stadium that jumping.
Yeah, I was like, hey, yo, this is packed out, sold out, crazy. I was like, oh, shit. But till you went back to y'all game, I mean, Ryan Williams, if we're going to keep it a stab, what has he done since the Georgia game? What's the marquee thing? Because we could point out, Jeremiah Smith, we get to him also, but we can point out the games that he has since, his breakout game. Well, Ryan Williams, they call him the Georgia game merchant because since that game, no 100-yard receiving games, no touchdowns in his last 4 or 5 games. You're one of the cover boys for the new college football game that's planned out right now. And right now you just really haven't been producing. So yeah, you can keep painting your fingernails, the whole dog thing. That's only going to take you so far if you're not producing on the field. Like you said, that Alabama fan base, they're unforgiving, they're relentless. And they want excellence, especially coming out of the Nick Saban era where it was damn near Johnny Manziel put it up. It's nobody's scared of Alabama like they used to anymore. When people saw Alabama on the schedule, they played to lose the game. Now they thinking oh, we should beat these scrubs. And I'm not even – and Alabama's fans, y'all can take this however y'all want. I don't really care. Y'all know that 3-5 years ago, especially when y'all had Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, all them, people was fuck, we got to play Alabama. Now it's oh, shit, yeah, we about to get fucking Alabama out of here. So that aura that Alabama used to have, that shit damn near gone now.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more so, just the difference between a Nick Saban team and what Kalen DeBoer is, and I get DeBoer has won everywhere he's gone, but like he hasn't been at a prestigious school, at a school like Alabama, like a football type of school. Like, I know, like Washington has had success in football, but
what he's finding out is SEC country is different. SEC country is different.
It's different. It's different in the SEC. It's different. It's a whole nother standard at Bama, and I think that even when Nick Saban had teams like, I think every team that Nick Saban had from maybe after the first year he started until when he left, like every team was like, oh, like they can compete for a title, like type team. But now you don't get that same. I don't know if it's like there's not that same confidence within the locker room, and then because it's like that, people don't look as like intimidated to play out.
I can tell you what it is, and it can you can say it's NIL, but it kind of started right before NIL started. Because you got to remember, Alabama was getting the top recruits in the country, and we're not even talking about like just the number one wide receiver. They was getting number 1, 2, 3 wide receiver, and then they was just churning them out year after year after year. But then once Kirby Smart left and went to Georgia, all of a sudden Georgia started getting some of those players Alabama was getting used to. And then it was just a trickle effect after that, because ever since like anybody from Alabama went somewhere, they start taking those players that they used to be bringing into Alabama. So, you had a backfield where it was Ingram, Trent Richardson, Eddie Lacy, Derrick Henry, all just waiting their turn. Now you don't got that anymore. Now you have to find and pay for a transfer to come in to be that bell cow running back. Now you got to find that star wide receiver. Now you got to do. It's not always going to be in the farm anymore. So now it's just like it's a different era that Alabama kind of got. And you can kind of see why Nick Saban left, because he's like, man, things are just different. Things are just different. So he kind of bowed out where he needed to, because he just knew he wasn't just going to keep up. Where he used to go into people's rooms and be like, I got these championships rings right here. Are you going to join the program or not? Now he got to go in there. He got to dance, do the damn cha-cha slide. Got to talk about payments. Is mama going to get a new car? Is dad going to get a new apartment? So like things are just changing for the better or the worse, however y'all want to take it, for better or worse.
Yeah.
But now, I got to give props for that. Was a big win for Florida State, but also, as conference-wise, big win for the ACC, because I know a lot of people probably have Florida State getting beat that game. So it was a good game for the ACC, especially if you think about, T always mentioned the Florida State possibly leaving the conference. So not only did they show up for themselves, they kind of show up to like, kind of dress rehearsal for other conferences like Florida State for real. So look out for us in the next few seasons.
The Big Ten's looking to expand in 2030. You know what? And we talked about this. Who can opt out of their deal with the ACC? Well, any ACC team can opt out in 2030. But when they settled the Clemson FSU lawsuit, one of the things that happened was it basically gave almost any ACC team, but you can opt out of the little grant of right things in 2030, and the Big Ten's new TV deals in 2030. I think the SEC's TV deal expires around that time too. So the way things are going, there's going to be more moving pieces in about 5 years. A report came out that UNC is trying to leave, and the SEC wants UNC, but after what we saw last night, it was bad.
I mean, can we do it, man? Let's just stay in the ACC and let's just go there, man. A coach that we used to see on Monday Night Football in the NFL had his debut on Monday night in college football. Tar Heel Nation had everything jumping. Had Michael Jordan come out. Had LT come out. Had Mia Hamm come out. Petey Pablo come out. I mean, who wasn't there that was like UNC royalty? Julius Peppers, and everything looked good. That first drive, the scripted drive, boom, 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 boom. Ship got that touchdown. I mean, the running back got the touchdown. I mean, everything looked good, but it all went downhill after that. Fellas, what the fuck happened last night?
I think everything everything started unraveling right before. I think this happened right before halftime. Because at one point, like this particular thing happened, and all of a sudden it was like 41-7. So I missed like whatever 20 points TCU scored in the third quarter. But the pick six right before halftime changed everything. I think it changed everything. The quarterback stared down the receiver. Pretty routine interception, honestly. So yeah, I think, but since that point, because this is like maybe minutes before halftime, so right before that, that's momentum for TCU going into halftime, third quarter. I think they score right away. They're on their
first play.
So, and then after that, next thing I know, it's like 41-7, and I'm like, man, what happened here? Like, so I think that's where it all happened.
I mean, the jokes kept riding themselves, man.
Yeah, I mean, the funny, Belichick was 41 and Jordan Hudson was 7. That shit was crazy. But
amen.
But all I'll say is my coach did better against TCU than Bill Belichick did, and we did it at TCU. So
talk your shit, Dave.
So there's that. and TCU was ranked and we weren't. So there's that. So
yeah, USC doesn't have a Travis Hunter or Shador Sanders. Talent, like I knew it was gonna be bad. Pete Thamel was on there and basically saying, all the scouts they were there for like, but there's a talent gap. They paid Gio Lopez all that money, but I don't see a talent. I don't see a strong arm. I didn't see like much pocket presence. It was just bad. They got absolutely whooped in the trenches. And this guy I follow on Twitter, he goes by Doc Staples. He follows like Florida State and UNC very closely. And he said, his like analysis, during the all season before the game was like UNC is bad in the trenches, and he didn't think they would have much success this year, despite all the hype. And he was proven right, at least for one game. I mean, they got absolutely whooped in the trenches yesterday, and if you're struggling with TCU, imagine what Clemson's going to do with them, I think, in a couple of weeks. The only saving grace for Bill Belichick is their schedule is soft as shit. Like, their schedule is real. Like, they don't play Miami. They don't play Florida State. They don't play Louisville. They don't play SMU. I don't think they play Georgia Tech. So we're talking about some of the 5 of the best teams in the ACC right there. They're outside of Clemson. They play Duke, which Duke's better than UNC right now. It just is. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the schedule for this week coming up. Don't be surprised. Duke plays Illinois at home. Illinois is ranked number 11 in the country. Illinois is only 2.5-point favorites. Don't be surprised if Duke beats Illinois on Saturday.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, we're taking a quick break in the episode to present an ad for Alpha Progression. If you're serious about building muscle and tired of the gimmicks, check out the Alpha Progression app. It's no BS, just science-backed training designed by real lifters and competitive bodybuilders. Alpha Progression has already been named the App of the Day by Apple twice, and it's the top-rated fitness app in Germany, now making waves worldwide. What sets this app apart? First, the intuitive workout logger. It's powerful enough for seasoned lifters, but simple enough for beginners to jump right in. Then there's the AI-powered plan generator. It customizes workouts from scratch based on your goals and equipment, with over 1,000 trillion input combinations. Quality-wise, this app has workout plans that measure up to the best personal trainers in the world. And it doesn't stop there. Their progression algorithm gives you exact weight and rep suggestions based on your performance, so you're always improving and never plateauing. And right now, we got a special deal for you guys. For you all as Assassin4 podcast listeners, get 20% off your first payment using this following link: alphaprogression.com/Savsin4. That's alphaprogression.com/Savsin4. SAVSIN4. Train smarter, grow stronger. Download the Alpha Progression app today.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it.
I can see it.
And NC State at the end of the season, Bill Belichick has to win that game somehow. But I haven't seen State play, so I don't know how good they are. But outside of those games, I mean, their schedule is real soft. So that's really his saving grace. But the way they look, man, they might lose to some teams that they have no business losing to on paper.
I mean, it was just all bad for UNC yesterday, man. Like, I pretty much turned the game, went and got to like 31, and then I woke up and see they almost got 50 piece. I was like,
Yeah. I went
just,
to bed early. I went to bed early on this story.
nah, I don't know who said in the chat, but it was like, man, good night. I was like, yep, literally. I fell asleep on that whole, bro. On everything. But shoot, man, sticking in the ace. Oh, go ahead, T. My bad.
I was gonna say they play Cal. Now Cal has a good quarterback, and it's at Cal. And then they play at Syracuse. Syracuse is not terrible.
Honestly, I can see UNC losing to both of those teams because Cal.
Yeah.
We needed Cam Ward just to beat Cal last year, and it was on the road. So I understand that environment's probably different. You gotta go all the way to the West Coast, time differences and everything. That's a trap game. If I got to see the spread, but I would definitely bet Cal that game. And then Syracuse, they're better than what I guess people believe that they think they are. They kind of gave Tennessee some bump the other day until they kind of like ran out of gas. Syracuse is a respectable program. I don't think you should sleep on them. No, shout out to the few Syracuse players I met at the job over the summer, man. They some funny guys, man. But they showed they did pretty well out there. But UNC, if something don't change, they probably won't even make it to a bowl game, and that's the danger that Bill Belichick is facing this season with all that hype. And then not to mention that how much eligibility does Ship have left, or is this his last year?
It's a great question. Let me
because they're about 3-4 more L's away for him to be like, hey, it's draft or I'm out of here, and that's pretty much your best player right there.
I think that's one more year after this.
Hey, look,
he's a redshirt sophomore or a true sophomore?
True sophomore.
True sophomore. Okay.
Oh yeah, he got coach. All right, keep playing. He's gonna be on somebody's roster next season.
That's what I was about to say. He might transfer.
But a lot can happen. Week 1 is not the tell-all, be-all for every single team. It's just a lot of expectations was thrown out there in the offseason. Some fell real flat. For example, these bum-ass Catholics at Notre Dame. What a Sunday. I didn't even have to go to church. What a Sunday.
Hey, man.
Nah, man. A great player once told me, don't tell me what you're going to do in our house. Don't tell me what you're going to get. And, it was a certain running back over there, Mr. Love, Jeremiah Love, I think that's what his name is.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love, yeah.
Fake ass face on Love. He went on, Ryan Clark's show talking about, I just love going in people's places and just having people go out sad, go home sad. I just have a question for you, Mr. Love. Did you go home sad? Because that's a long plane ride from Miami to Illinois, wherever the fuck Notre Dame is at. With your bum ass gold helmets, with your bum ass lame ass jerseys and shit, lame basic ass shits, bruh. I got that starter pack for an AAU football team, fucking around, and y'all lucky. I promise you, T, we almost beat ourselves because we should have broke that game open on everything. We should have broke that. We should have broke that game up. And I told you, I was like, we should beat Notre Dame because Notre Dame lost too many people. And I was like, y'all lucked into the championship game last year. Y'all didn't do anything. Y'all a good team. I'm not saying y'all trash, but y'all don't have anybody over there that's like, oh shit, we need to be worried about this cat.
All right, put them over the top. I thought y'all about to blow them out. I was like, yeah, Notre Dame looking very fraudulent, but then Miami just kept them in the game.
It was two blown coverages that we had on defense in the third quarter that kind of blew me. It's like, I understand the QB is scrambling, so you trying to find a man, and then you lost him in the shuffle, and then that other joint, then the QB run. I was like, all right, y'all, But what I did like was the defense was the one that kind of like ended the game, sealed the game, because the defensive line was rocking. Bain and Scott was all over the defensive line, man. They was making plays all over the place. DBs looked better this year. They was sticking to their men a lot more in this game, making plays. We was getting the turnovers like we used to, but the thing for me was our wide receivers. We got speed and we got some athleticism at this wide receiver position because CJ Daniels, my God,
Yeah, man.
that's snag.
And to kind of add on to that, like the speed thing, man. Do you see a couple of our guys just straight up ran by Bama? I mean, they just straight up zoomed right by their DBs. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
we got speed. We got speed. That's why I can't wait. That speed.
Yeah, that's Florida speed. The only thing about Miami that just me being unbiased and looking from the outside looking in, man, it's just something about Mario Cristobal, man. I just gotta see it to believe with him, bro. I just still don't. I don't know how you feel, but
no, it's like he's a front running coach. I could see that if it was the other way around, if we was down 21-7, would we have come back? I don't believe so. But since we was up and made things better, it kind of settled the team down. And quite be honest, from what I saw, and T, you're gonna laugh at this. Remember All American first season? Remember when they had like that combine, and then Jordan threw that pass, and then Spencer he made that miraculous catch that went viral and everything. So Jordan his grandfather was like, he was showing him the video, and Jordan was like, "Yeah, you see that throw?" He said, "Man, nobody care about that throw. They looking at that catch." Because if you watch that play, the pressure worked for Notre Dame, and he threw a bad pass, but CJ Daniels made a miraculous catch because that ball was going to end up in that DB's hand if he didn't do that, if he didn't catch the way he did. So the wide receivers made more plays than Carson Beck. Actually looked very good. He wasn't bad by any chance, but you could definitely tell. You could tell that Malachi Tony was the star of the game for Miami in the wide receiver core, and then CJ Daniels probably has one of the top catches of the season as of right now, early out the gate. So, and Malachi Tony, he only 17 years old. He's supposed to be on the recruiting chair watching us this game, but instead he's in pads going crazy. So, future looking bright for him. So I just can't wait to see what we know as this offense continues to grow and this defense continue to grow, what this Miami team can possibly do. Because if this is the Miami defense going forward, what I saw last night, hey, I'm confident that we can beat anybody, to be honest with you. Defensive line is going
legit title contender. Like, I think the improvement in the defense and like the receivers, you guys lost quite a few receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think based on what we saw, Miami is legit title contender. I think as of right now, Florida State is an ACC title contender and a playoff contender. Clemson, they'll bounce back. I honestly like our chances versus them based on what I saw because, LSU had a lot of new O-linemen and they held their own versus that D-line. You heard a lot of hype about Peter Woods and I forgot the other guy's name, but LSU's O-line held up pretty well versus that Clemson D-line, and we'll have a lot more time to prepare for them, and they also have a lot of game tape. Kay Klubnik and Clemson OC Garrett Riley, they still, in big games, they still just don't have it. Like Kay Klubnik's the type of guy that looks good versus your run-of-the-mill ACC school or whatever. When it's time to be like an SEC team or win a big game, he just doesn't quite.
No, he don't stand out. But this is people's projected number one QB, though. Yeah, all right.
No.
Yeah, man. But speaking of QB, I think QB1 is Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina.
No, I think he showed enough. Like the athleticism, the speed, the run game, and then that pass he gave to my boy Harbor from the DMV, man. I mean, South Carolina, they just got some athletic freaks on that team, man.
They're a dangerous team, the SEC. They have a tough schedule, but they're a very dangerous team. The only thing about Sellers is some of those like short intermediate throws, he kind of put too much steam on him. We see it happen a lot with quarterbacks with really, really strong arms. He's got to work on a little bit more of the touch passing game, but outside of that, he should be QB1.
I mean, quite honestly, too, we saw that was kind of like the theme this weekend, man. The quarterback play was just not all that to be excited about if you're a team in the NFL needing a new QB. I mean, I feel like Nuss and Sellers, they're probably going to be the top two going in, as they should. And I feel like they're going to play better as the season going on. But if you're talking about if you need 5 QBs to be great in this draft, you won't find them. You won't find them.
Nah. Wrap that up.
You won't find. You won't find them, man.
And man, especially after what we saw on Saturday, because Arch, you got a lot of work to do, man. Mechanically, I mean, the very first throw of the game, he threw off his back foot on the run, and the ball like hit the dirt, and I was like, okay. I saw a guy that has I see a guy that has a good arm, but not like elite arm talent. The ball just doesn't like zip off his hands, when he throws. You know how some guys, they have that pop when they throw the ball, like it just comes out. Yeah. I don't see that Arch, but Peyton Manning didn't have a great arm either, and still was able to be a Hall of Famer. But like his mechanics, like his footwork in the pocket at times is bad. Sidearming. I saw a lot of quarterbacks with like doing sidearm stuff and like the mechanics. I'm like,
the Mahomes
are we developing quarterbacks anymore? Like, I don't know. If I was an NFL team, I wouldn't want to draft a quarterback this year unless you get number one. You can take Sellers, but Sellers still has a lot of work to do. The only difference between Sellers and Anthony Richardson, Sellers has a lot more starts underneath his belt already, and we'll have more by the end of the year. But yeah, just a lot of bad mechanics and like that's not coverage shit.
This might be the year that a quarterback won't even go top 5, to be completely honest.
They shouldn't, but if a team is in position to get Sellers or Nuss, they will take them.
Yeah.
Because that teams are always scared if they miss the QB early that they're not going to be able to get them again. It's not like last year where it's like, oh, we can let these QBs drop. We're gonna find a way to get them. This is not, because I'm just thinking, because you're thinking Carson Beck should come out, Sellers, Nuss. Those might be your top 3. Then after that, and Carson right now is looking like day 2 quarterback in my opinion. So if he's already day 2, then what's that say about everybody else that is eligible to come out this season? It's not looking good. Like, honestly, this is the year I believe that it's going to be a lot of defensive players getting taken in these drafts, because the 2 wide receivers that people care about, they're not eligible yet, between Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith. So it's not knocking any other wide receiver, but those are like the premier wide receivers to a lot of people. So we got to see more tape. But going back to going to the game, Arch, he was short armor on a lot of throws. The NITs that he actually should have had 2 picks, but the DB dropped the second one. But both of them was telegraphed like hell. And I mean, my boy,
he missed a slant for a touchdown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna just call it what it is. Archavius looked like Archibald that day, man. Like, it was just all bad. It was just all bad for the boy, man. You could tell, and for our people that play college football on whatever system you play, that stadium post was all the way up, and he was rattled. You could tell how he was looking on the sideline. He was like, "Damn, I didn't think it was gonna be like this." And I ain't seen that out of him since the Georgia game when he looked like he was completely out of sorts. And these are like NFL caliber defenses that he's possibly looking at in the future. So if he's getting rattled by Ohio State defense, and we saw what happened to him in Georgia, then looking at their schedule, it's about to be a long season for that boy unless they find his confidence again.
And that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say what the NFL is going to look like.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say about Matt Patricia. That's exactly what it's going to be at the next level. He went against a defense that was schemed up by a guy that has schemed up defenses that have won Super Bowls. So like that's what it's going to be on the next level. But I mean, it's his first road game. I mean, the lack of experience. I mean, he had experience last year, but it was against like UT San Antonio and some of these like lower level like schools like in the SEC. He like and we saw what happened against Georgia. That should have been a measuring stick for what he could possibly do. You know, at least maybe to start off this year. But I mean, he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. Yeah, but I'm not as high as him as what I was, you know, before this past weekend.
It's like there was no like flashes of like what the hype was. Like there was nothing. He had one good throw for the touchdown, but I didn't even see like the athleticism or that people were hyping up. Like it was just a lot of hype that was just didn't warrant all the hype, especially against that team and that defense. And they got Caleb Downs, they got some studs out there. So at Ohio State, I mean, Ohio State, we're talking about Arch and like Ohio State, they're number one. They're not going to be tested again until they play Illinois later on in the season. Then they got Penn State and Michigan. So, I mean, Ohio State will be a playoff team, but I got to see how their offense moves along. I mean, Julian Sayin didn't do anything to lose a game, but he's going to have to start winning games. He missed Jeremiah Smith early in the game for a touchdown, and Israel got frustrated. So,
I will say both teams got some great caliber defenses. It was a defensive juggernaut game. But to your point, and from the last episode, Sarkisian didn't help Arch at all his damn self with his play calling. Like, he ain't gave that man, like, no easy plays to get his confidence back. And what's with all the damn QB sneaks, dog? Like, he's not Tim Tebow. He's not Cam Newton. Like, what the fuck are we doing out here, T? Like,
yeah, this is a problem when they played Ohio State in the playoff. They got down on the 3-yard line. He ran a tall sweep and I said, I'm like, that's going to cost them the game right there. And then they had the fumble like the very next play or 2 plays later. And then same thing, they got down on the goal line twice and they didn't score. And I'm like, you kick field goals, you win the game. Also, the play call was he didn't do Arch any favors with his play calling. The schemes, very conservative. I didn't see a lot of innovation. And Texas, we talked about it in our college football episode, and I was like, Sark, you gotta get it done at some point. You're on that Ryan Day trajectory. You went to the playoff semifinals and lost to Washington. In my opinion, Texas had more overall talent than Washington that year.
Yeah,
Washington ended up beating them, and then last year versus Ohio State, you were right there with a chance to tie the game, and your play calling was atrocious. And Texas fans got there when they won Arch. Quinn Ewers leaves, and that's the best you had all offseason. That's the best you could do. I mean, Arch. I was like, Arch didn't throw the ball in the middle of the field at all most of the game. Like nothing. Like no type of like quick passes or anything.
And that's my concern, because how many passes they even throw at the goal line? Like, it was just straight up like trying to ram Arch into the end zone. And I'm like, pause by the way, but I'm like, the first QB sneak barely worked. So if you're an offensive coordinator and you saw that the QB sneak the first time barely worked in the middle of the field, what you think is going to happen at the goal line? And you didn't run it not once, not twice, but 3 times? Like, Arch Manning is not that type of QB where it's like, he's not Jalen Hurts. He's not one of those big QBs where you can run QB sneaks like that. Yeah, he's 6'4" and everything, but all 6'4" QBs are not created equal. He didn't move the pile at all on any of those QB sneaks. So I hope they watch the tape and figure out. And it just lets me know. I have questions now, because like, do they believe in him throwing the football in the end zone? Like, these are questions that we might have to start asking now, because I don't know. Something about that play call against Ohio State. I understand they have a good defense, but both of y'all have players on both sides of the ball where you didn't have to play that type of vanilla play call in football, in my opinion. It was just crazy for me.
Yeah, it was very disappointing. Texas fans are not happy with Sark, and this goes back to what I said. Like, Sarkisian, you have to get it done because Texas, like you said, they have some games where they're going to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule real quick. So, I mean, as I said, UTEP, Houston. So, they'll get first, good stuff. But then after that, you play at Florida and Oklahoma after that weeks. And, Oklahoma looks better than what people expect, even though they were ranked, but their quarterback looked really good. I know they didn't really play anybody. And we're worried about Oklahoma this Saturday when they play Michigan.
Yeah.
But, Oklahoma that's a rivalry game. At Florida's a tough place to play. Florida, they look good. Florida has a brutal schedule. So they're some L's, but Florida, talent-wise, is a top 20 team, 15 team right now on talent. They just have a brutal schedule. But the games at the Swamp, they're going to be, they're going to be looking for an upset. And then after you get the Oklahoma game, you have a couple games to get right, and then you play at Georgia, and then A&M at the end of the year, and then Arkansas in between. Arkansas and Texas is a rivalry game that a lot of people don't know about because they don't play often, but that used to be a big rivalry back in the day. So they end the year at Georgia, Arkansas, and then A&M. So that's a tough
shit
year. And I don't know, that at Kentucky game might be a trap game too. I don't know how good Kentucky is, but it's games like that. You could possibly lose.
I think we'll find out how good Kentucky is. I think they play Georgia this week, if I'm not mistaken. They play somebody this week. Kentucky does.
Kentucky almost beat Georgia last year too, so I gotta see what they working with. I gotta see what they.
Kentucky plays Ole Miss. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, they're Texas has to be careful, because you already lost versus Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can maybe get away with one loss in the SEC play, but you start talking about 2 losses in SEC play. I mean, they might be good enough to be a wild card, but the SEC is just brutal, man. And like I said, they don't have the easiest schedule either. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially with their expectations. Also, I didn't really see the 8 Texas wide receivers getting really any separation.
No. And I'm trying to think, is it because Ohio State, they just have a good defense? Caleb Downs is a safety out there. They probably got some good DBs. They sometimes it looked like they was just running the routes for the wide receivers. So I kind of want to see if that's going to be something to look out going forward, or is it just like we probably saw 2 top 5 defenses that game. So I just want to see how that goes from there. But I noticed that too. There really was no separation with the wide receivers, and Texas lost a lot of wide receivers to the NFL last year. So it's going to be interesting how they move forward with that.
Hey Dave, question: how did you feel about Colorado at their first game? I mean, they competed for Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's underrated. Georgia Tech, they've almost beat Georgia twice in the last 2 years. They've given Georgia fits. They're built very well in the trenches, and Colorado had opportunities to make plays, but I know they got a new quarterback. They're still trying to figure things out. But, I mean, they held their own. They had opportunity, but, Dion, you got to manage the clock better.
Yeah, I didn't see the last, after, I guess, I didn't even see Georgia Tech when they scored that touchdown, but I know, they gave up a 45-yarder. I mean, but the problem with stopping the run remains the same. I think there were some parts I like. I liked. We have some talent. This team is not as talented as what it was last year. I mean, we don't have the stars in Shador and Travis or guys like that or anything really close to that. But I like our quarterback. I like his pedigree. He led Liberty to an undefeated record and led them to a New Year's Six Bowl a couple years ago where they lost to Oregon, I think in the Sugar Bowl or something like that, or the Fiesta, one of those bowls. But he's good. But we were tied 20. There were a few problems I had with that game, but I I'm not too disappointed about where we at, but we had a chance to go down and take the lead, but on 2 straight plays, from what I saw, Salter was, I think rolling out, and he threw behind one of the receivers, and then the next play he overthrew one of them, and then now we have to punt, and then that leads to Georgia Tech, QB scoring a touchdown, and then like with the last drive, just based on like just how I saw how it, like just the recap of how it happened, like you just there's just no excuse for that. Like it's like when you have the staff that you have, and I'm like Prime is coached long enough in college to be able to better handle a situation like that. Wait, like I had some slander, but I'm not even gonna say it because it's a little fucked up. But
like,
but you could, but like
a bar so dirty that they don't want to say it. That's crazy.
But like you can't leave 2 timeouts on the board like that, man. Like you gotta at least use one to at least fit, especially like when you're letting this clock like 10 seconds, 20 seconds just go off the clock like that. Like, bro, like this team does not have the wherewithal to be able to get it together. Like the fact that this is game 1 of the season and that this is the first time that this group has been together, because this is a new set of transfers. This is a new set of wide receivers. This is a new quarterback. It's the offensive line, I think, is mostly the same, but it's still a new group. Like you have to be able to manage, like, look, call a timeout, be like, all right, let's redo this whole thing, because the fortunate thing about college football, the clock, you get a little mini timeout, every first down, like at least for like a little while before the clock starts again. Yeah, so like things could have happened better, man. Like fuck it, Dion, you sacrificed your bladder, man. You could have sacrificed a timeout, bro. Like golly, dog. Like I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
My bad, y'all. That was on me. Tyson. That was on me. I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry, but probably would have to edit that part out. But
what Dion gonna do? Some shades? Shit.
He gonna send Shallow. Shallow gonna start swinging.
Shallow got free time.
Shallow can come to the Panthers, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, hey, we'll take him. I ain't opposed to it. I need a swinger.
Hey, Dave, quick question. Do you think, and I'm just throwing that shit out here for clickbait. I don't know, but this being his first game while coaching his son, do you think that had anything to do with like the clock mismanagement and how the game went yesterday? Do you think that kind of was like in his head, like this is like his first game ever while coaching his son or any of his sons?
I think it had a small part to do with not too much of the fact that it's his son, but I am thinking about, okay, like he's coached Shador for 3 seasons in a row. Like I think 2 at Jackson State, 2 at Colorado, and then actually it might have been 4 because it was 2 at Jackson State and then another 2 at Colorado, at least, right? So he's coached him for 4 seasons in a row. So
and high school,
and in high school. So this is an adjustment for himself, So that could have been a part of it, but where's the offensive coordinator at in this situation? I mean,
True.
Like there could have been ways to alleviate that, and I think there's just no excuse. Like you can't take your timeouts with you. Use them, bro. And you can, even if you don't have timeouts, you can at least like block the ball, like if you need to, So, it could have happened better, but I expect, for the coaching staff and the players to be able to learn from that situation. To me, as far as like, our schedule and what we can do, I think the prediction for us was, I think 5.5 wins. I feel like we can get 6, but it's also possible that we could get like only 3 or 4. I mean, but I feel like we'll get 6. I feel like we'll sneak into a bowl game. I feel like we'll be like a good 6-6, 7-5. I think we play. I think Iowa State at home at later on down the road.
October.
Yes.
Yeah. I got the schedule pulled up. So Colorado should win their next 3 games. I don't know how good Houston is in football.
Yeah.
They play Houston next Friday on the 12th. They play Delaware and they play Wyoming. BYU, I'm not sure how good BYU is, but we know BYU is going to be physical.
Yeah.
At TCU looks pretty good. I know UNC was bad, but I mean, I did see some things from TCU. They're going to at least be able to put up some points and compete. Iowa State looks like right now one of the best teams in the Big 12. Utah, a lot of people were saying Utah can win the Big 12, and their quarterback looked good. They finally got rid of whatever that quarterback was that stayed there forever.
That senior citizen. They finally got rid of that city. Yeah, finally took his AARP car and got the fuck up out of there, man.
Utah's that good?
I mean, yeah, they just saying, nigga, I'm going to leave you his first L of the season. Probably many more to come. I mean, shit.
Arizona, I don't think Arizona's good, but then West Virginia, a lot of people for some reason, especially on like ESPN and Game Day, I just heard a lot of people hyping up West Virginia as a sleeper. So y'all play at West Virginia, then you play Arizona State, and then at Kansas State. Kansas State looked pretty bad this year. You know, they lost over in Dublin. I don't know what it is about when you lose a game in Ireland, but when you come back, they almost lost to an FCS team at home. So we'll see what Kansas State can do.
I saw that. I feel like we can beat Kansas State. They don't look
trash.
I see a path to 6 wins. I think you can get to 6.
Yeah, I think we can get to 6. I mean,
honestly, if the QB play improves, y'all win the Georgia Tech game. So if the QB play improves, then I give y'all a chance, man. Honestly,
that dude Salter cannot throw like on the run, bro. Like for whatever reason, he's not accurate on the run, dog. Like I don't know what it was like at Liberty or whatever, but and I don't know if it's just this is gonna be a one-time thing, but man, he was highly inaccurate on the run, dog. But that there's ways to fix that. There's ways to fix that. So
but the other yeah.
That's true. They were fighting all spring and summer, so they were battling for that starter spot. So if these next three games that we're projected we're the favorites to win. If Salter doesn't look good, might have to make that change. Might have to, because Julian Lewis was expected to be the starter when he first went around the springtime, but I think they decided to go with experience. And with Julian just sitting out maybe this year or being the backup this year and then starting next year. So, especially man, like if we lose to Delaware, a change needs to be made. A change needs to be made. So that can't happen. Yeah, I think we can get 6 wins though.
All right. I mean, before we end this joint, was there any like teams or players in college football that y'all was like, okay, we see a little something here, maybe something there, maybe not. Anything probably after week 1.
LSU's DBs, they actually showed out. Just like how I was telling BT, it seems like DBU is back. So that's something I definitely would say we should look for going forward in the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
David, go ahead. I'm gonna get my bars off real quick. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think the Big 12 is gonna be, as it's gonna come down to the wire a little bit as far as like who gets to the championship game. I feel like it might be some of that same scenario because a lot of us we don't play, a lot of the teams we don't play each other, so it's gonna come into that. I forgot, like they use like some type of metric as far as like a certain set of teams in the Big 12, like what was your win-loss record against like maybe the top 6 teams or the bottom 6 or like whatever, it was something like that. And because like we lost to Kansas, that impacted, that record against like what Arizona State had and BYU and Iowa State had. But I feel like Arizona State's the best team in the Big 12. I feel like they'll probably be represented in the championship game. I mean, Utah may have something to say about that. A team like TCU or Utah may have something to say about this in the end. Even like maybe some teams that we haven't really been considering in the conference. So I expect that to happen later. I expect it to be a tight race later on this year.
All right.
Oh yeah, Kirk Herbstreit. Did you
Cook.
really think we would forget?
Cook.
Did you really think we would forget? You know, it's funny to me, bro, that now all of a sudden ESPN and all these national pundits want to give us all this praise. But when we were 13-0 undefeated and we're competing for a playoff, y'all literally did everything y'all could to tear us down. So Kirk Herbstreit, fuck you and fuck your mutt. Always bring your dog on TV, bro. Fuck you and that mutt, bro. Don't give us praise now, bro. Stay on that side, bro. Stay on your SEC side over there, bro. We just beat your beloved Alabama, bro. We're going to beat Florida at the end of the year, and we're going to have something to say. And I know, just to get back to the main point, the ACC, I think it's going to be very, very competitive. Obviously, you know, Clemson, Miami, Florida State, Georgia Tech hasn't got a lot of hype, but they're ranked as well. Louisville, they have a USC transfer, Miller Moss. So
Louisville, yeah.
Yep. And then you know, Duke's solid. You know, they have a good infrastructure over there as well. So I think the ACC is going to be pretty competitive this year. I think they're going to get 2, possibly 3 teams in the playoff, depending on how things shake out. I see a scenario where Miami, Clemson, and Florida State each have like 10, possibly 11 wins at the end of the season. So I think there's a path that AC might get 3 teams in, especially if it's Clemson, Miami, and Florida State, because ESPN is going to want those teams in because they draw in ratings and money. So keep that in mind. ACC had a good week 1. Clemson didn't hold up there in the bargain, but fuck them and fuck Dabo.
Yeah.
Far as I'm concerned, I didn't even count them for ACC greatness from this weekend, man. I was like, I wanted their downfall. Fuck you mean? I don't want them to thrive at anything. Clemson won for the conference. Fuck Clemson. Bum ass niggas, fake ass Tigers. I got more respect for 20 the Tiger than their bitch ass Tiger. Fuck out of here. Frosted Flakes, nigga.
Yeah.
Frosted Flakes, nigga. Frosted Flakes. Fuck that stage. Fuck their leaders. Fuck that. Fuck everything about Clemson. They in a dirty ass state. They in a dirty ass city. They got dirty ass fans. Fake ass church. Ass preacher. Where the fuck they at? I don't give a fuck where they at. Where they at is dirty as shit too. Fuck them. Dabo ain't shit. That man said we got paid players that I would retire. He still ain't retired. Hey, you know what, T? You know what, T? As a Miami fan, I'ma say this because it's the fucking truth. Y'all coach Norvell was way better than Dabo, and the proof has been there for 3 fucking seasons. Watch the fucking tape. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. And I want a Clemson fan to argue with me. And y'all ain't better than Miami either, because we proved that to y'all last season, bitch ass niggas. So what's up? I want y'all to jump. Up here. This is a call for all y'all bum ass Clemson fans. Come on this pod. I want to have a real discussion with y'all bum ass niggas. I said what I gotta say, man. Oh, but shout out to my boy Malik Washington, freshman quarterback from Maryland. Shout out for the first game against FAU. The best is ahead, my boy.
Hey, I just need someone to not let Oregon win a Big Ten championship, because Oregon, all they do is hang conference championships and meaningless bowl game fans. That is all they do.
Jersey combinations.
They play for clicks and jersey combinations, and TV slots. That's what they play for. That's what they play for. But it's all good. It's all good. I know I'm gonna have ample amount of time and slander later on this season. I know it's gonna happen. Damn, man. Phil
Phil Knight shows more love to Duke than his own goddamn alma mater, man. Oregon cook, bro.
But it's funny that Dabo used this damn example of how, like how both teams got the final exam at the beginning of class, and LSU got a 65, and Clemson got a 58. Well, the last time I was in college, a 65 was passing.
These get degrees.
And a 58 was an F.
Get degrees.
At least he was accurate in that point. Like, LSU did pass. Clemson failed. So at least he was accurate in that point. But
I mean, what do you expect from a fake ass pastor? He slandered his own team. What do you expect?
Yeah. Before we get off, I was gonna shout out my boy Thomas Castellanos, bro. You want to talk about calling your shot?
Yeah,
that man caught hell for his quote.
Yep.
Not only did he back it up, he walked Bama down and took their soul, bro.
Yeah, and talk shit after.
Yeah, he talk shit after.
Cause we just bro. DJU, another
aura. And Kalen DeBoer, it ain't your ball. Ty Simpson, it ain't your ball. It ain't your ball.
Dabo saying DJU the fuck up Florida State, man. I saw the scheme, man. He ain't slick, bro. That was atrocious. That was fucking atrocious, man.
Oh man!
Now, also shout out to LSU, man, for wearing those 1-0 shirts before the game, man.
Man,
I mean, hey, I hate to do this to you, Arch, but that's how you fucking do it, man. If you saw how Consolano did it, if you saw how LSU did, that's how you call your shot and you produce, man. You ain't do it, man.
No, but he said he got a red dot. He got red dot on everybody else. He got a red dot. Where's the red dot at?
Shit, he ain't got no red dot the way he was throwing.
Y'all saw that meme where like how I go help, I need an ambulance, or like I need a doctor for you. That's how it was. Turn the gun around on him.
Hey, y'all ever watch those old Looney Tunes cartoons with Yosemite Sam?
Yeah.
Ask me how many times he hit something, and where did he usually shoot first? In the dirt.
Archibald.
That's Archie.
That's Archie from the comics, from the Sunday comics.
Hell no, Archie from the comic was getting pussy, bro. That Archie ain't got no play when he got back to Texas. Archie had two women. Archie had two women pawn on for him for 50 years. Archie ain't got it like that.
Yeah,
Archie ain't got it like that.
That's facts. That is facts. Facts.
But look, y'all, man. As always, we appreciate y'all holding and rocking with us, man. We got NFL coming up, man. First game this season, this Thursday, Eagles versus Cowboys. It's going to be a lot of emotions. Recent trade of Michael Parsons got traded to Green Bay. Jerry Jones looking like enemy number one. Hey, man, first of all, what's just going on in Dallas sports, man? You're a star player in Dallas. Be aware that you might be changing your area code.
Man,
Protect your neck. Protect your neck. Don't buy a house. Do not buy a house.
And then the trades be so one side. I was like, wait a minute, you gave a what?
Paige.
No shit. Paige is gonna try to find her way back in Minnesota one day. Watch.
Hey man, I don't know what's less safe in Dallas, bro. Deep Ellum or being a star player on the sports team.
Get us out. Get us out, Dave. Get us out. Dave, get us out. Dave, get us out. Dave, get us out. They get us out. They get us out.
I'm trying, nigga. I'm trying.
What we tell the people?
Hey, make sure you subscribe to the pod, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that.
Shout out to Kurt Lee.
Yeah. Kurt Lee, don't. Hey, Kurt Lee, you gotta protect yourself too. Don't get traded either, bro.
Man, listen. Let my boy go. Let my boy.
Hey, they trading all the star players out of Dallas, right? Hey, Kurt Lee, make sure you protect yourself, bro. Hey, the three horsemen, you know who y'all know who.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Hey, make
we
sure
never mention your name. We promise respect.
Yeah, make sure all your chickens are protected. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you watching this on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button. Make sure you follow us. If you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, iHeartRadio, whatever the case may be, any of the podcast streaming platforms, we appreciate you first off for listening, and also make sure you follow us on there. Follow us on social media. X, Facebook, and Twitter, Instagram. We appreciate everyone that's been tapping in, liking our stuff. Dre was at the Wings Dream Game this past weekend. I was at the U.S. Open. I crossed something off my bucket list. Went to the U.S. Open this past weekend.
Content dropping soon.
That's pretty cool. So, we're in football season now. Things are wrapping up on, the baseball, tennis side. Basketball preseason is like a month away. A month and some change away. So we're in a really good time right now. The weather's gotten colder. The bars got colder too. So make sure you stay tapped in with us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Dave. Hey, look, man, this is going to be another wild college football season. I expect the NFL to follow suit. Look, man, as I say in the beginning of this podcast, get your fantasy teams right, get your parlays right. Hey, man, it's all about trying to get. We're going to start doing parlay bettings again next episode after we get through these first week of NFL games. For some of y'all teams, may y'all prosper. For my ops, fuck y'all. As always, I'm with my team. I got my boy C-Note, got D, Dr. Esquire Day. I got my partner now, my boy T Hatch, man. Man, you already know what time it is, bro. But we're going to get to October 4th, bro. We're going to get to October 4th, bro. But look, man, this is Assassin 4, man. As always, thank you for rocking with us. And we out.